Welcome back to the Virtual Antics podcast. As always, I'm your host, Natalie Guzman. Today, I have a very special guest with me. I have Limore, who's been a mentor for women in tech for over 5 years. She's also the former director of engineering, and she specializes in managing remote teams as well as LinkedIn. Welcome, Limore. How are you?
Great. Thank you for having me. Pleasure being here today.
Yes, I'm so excited you're here. Now, where are you from? Because I'm loving the accent.
Oh, thank you. I'm in Israel. That's my home country, and that's where I live today. I had 9 years in the US, but I'm back.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so cool. I love some of my favorite things about the podcast is I've been talking to a lot of people like from the UK and Australia. And you're my first, so that's really cool. I'm so excited to have you. Now, my last episode, we kind of talked a little bit about like LinkedIn and we just really touched the basics. And so I'm really interested in, your experience with LinkedIn and any strategies you have to share with us.
Absolutely. And it really depends what you want to gain out of the platform. So I started using LinkedIn at almost the very beginning when they started. So I have a profile since 2004. Most of the years I did nothing with it. And then I started really heavily utilizing it since 2010 when I moved to the US and I had to find a job and I didn't know anyone. It didn't help so much at the beginning when I was actively looking, but the work to basically build a profile, build the network, eventually yield to following jobs that basically found me. So for job seekers, that's the place to be. If you're not there, it's like you don't exist, pretty much. And obviously, you need to have a very good stellar profile. So I'll talk first about job seekers and then we can move to business owners. I assume that's what you'll want to focus on. But shortly, I would say that you want to think about the audience and what do you want them to know about you in few seconds. So think about it. Attention span is very short and people don't spend much time reading. They don't like reading much. And I believe in visual, making things as visual as possible. So I'll say, focused first on, okay, if someone reads my profile, the first 10 seconds, what do I want them to know? What do I want them to remember? And what do you need to say, basically? So it's very important to have a good profile picture. If you can have it professionally done, that's even better. And today, by the way, you can utilize tools like Canva, which is like my go-to tool, to make a background to your picture. I don't know, have you noticed that many pictures have like a yellow or some kind of a bright color? That's for a reason, because it attracts the attention of the eye. And it's so easy to do. You just use Canva, you upload your picture, you remove the background, and you change the background to some bright color that you like.
Yeah, it's so easy. There's actually even AI tools now where you could put a picture of yourself and then it creates a beautiful, well, sometimes crazy profile pictures, especially for business and LinkedIn. I've seen a lot of success with it. I haven't done it myself. I think that's an experiment I want to try, but so many of my friends have been creating AI headshots and it's really cool.
Cool. So first you want a attention grabbing picture, right? I mean, that ideal is also recent because I can tell you, I met many people that they don't look like their picture anymore. And the back picture is also very powerful. Utilize it, What is the key statement you want to make? If you're a business owner, maybe you can put a URL of some sort, right? Or call to action. I put my podcast there on my profile, on my background picture. But I know some business owners, they can put like a link to their recent, I don't know, book or training or course or whatever. That's the best place to do it for attracting clients. And if you want to attract employers, then you can put, who you are. If you're a techie, you can put like different technologies, like logos of different technologies that you are familiar. So that's like very easy and grabbing attention. And I would say the next one is the headline. Make sure that your headline is utilized properly. You have 220 characters. Not many people utilize them. And don't use just your last job or whatever, or your title, your current title. Just write what are the key things that you do. Utilize keywords. So that's kind of the basic. But it's not enough. It's not enough nowadays to stand out. You really need to be out there. You need to be active and engage in groups, follow different people and engage with them, comment, and obviously create content. And the content changes, there are trends. Like the trend I hear all the time, and you'll probably see it, is carousels. That's like the latest trend. Everyone are posting carousels nowadays. So you need to be up to date kind of with what's trending now, what people like. So people like to consume valuable information they can actually use and do something with. Obviously, the latest trend is AI. So anything related to generative AI is going to catch.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And I think it's really important, like what you said, that, you want to really capture their attention in everything you do. Right. And it's so easy to have, if you're creating your own posts, most people on LinkedIn, they're not posting original content. And so it's really easy for your stuff to get seen and to even go viral. I've heard about these. A lot of my friends have been going super, super viral on LinkedIn because they're posting original content. And it's actually you're more likely to go viral on LinkedIn than you are on TikTok, which is super interesting because everyone talks about TikTok, but especially in a business sense, because I know I use it for my business, and I feel like everyone that watches all the leads that I want to attract are on LinkedIn.
Yeah. So you said something very important, the leads. Where are your leads? It really depends what kind of business do you have. And for some businesses, maybe LinkedIn is not the ideal place, right? I mean, I know Instagram is really popular for anything visual, right? For artists, for people that are doing anything with cooking, baking, and such, fashion. So definitely depends on your industry. And if LinkedIn, for me, it's definitely the right place to be, because I coach and I do workshops for leaders in tech, and definitely they're there. So
yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I really love the platform. I'm just in the baby stages of really getting to know it, because I've always focused on other platforms like Instagram and TikTok. So I'm really, really interested. Now, I just discovered the feature section. Do you have any tips when it comes to the featured section on LinkedIn?
Yeah. So first of all, you also, before we go to the features section, are you familiar with creator mode?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. I know I'm more familiar when it comes to like Instagram and TikTok. Can you explain a little bit on LinkedIn what that looks like?
Yeah. So the default profile is not creator mode. So basically highlights your background and experience. Creator mode, as it sounds, is focused on creation, basically on creation of content. And you don't have to be a marketer, right? Or, a copywriter to become a creator. Everyone can become a creator. So if you want to stand out and you want people to follow you, basically, like when you are a creator, the main call to action is follow, not connect. People still connect with you, but the button will show follow versus connect on a regular profile. So if you want, it depends on your, goal. But as a business owner, if you want more people to know you and you want to be active on LinkedIn and you want to generate content, switch on creator mode right away. It will also open up for you possibilities that I don't know if all of them are available for regular mode, like doing lives, audio events, newsletter, basically LinkedIn all the time adds more and more creator tools. So all them are going to be available for you. And it changes the structure of how people see your profile and put the feature section before the experience. And the feature section, you asked me what to put there. You can put there multiple things. You can put your website. You can put a specific landing page you want people to reach out to get some gift, right? Some giveaway, or maybe you want to put them a link to a paid offering. So those are the sort of things I would put on the feature section, but you can also highlight different articles you wrote or different content that you want to highlight. So if people land on your profile, they can find easily content that you're very proud of, that you want people to read or listen to.
Nice. I love that. And then how about when it comes to like engaging with other people? Is there like how often, or what types of like maybe comments, or how do we reach out to people and really connect with them?
Yeah, that's a great question. So first of all, you can just start following people. Based on your interest level, based on your, business, follow like-minded individuals. And when you start following people and they post content that you like or you relate to, then you can start engaging. And that's, by the way, the best way to build relationships, even with potential clients. Think about if you have someone you would like eventually to engage with, the best way would be to follow them, to come, assuming they are somehow active, to start liking their content and commenting. And the commenting should be something valuable you can add, maybe your own perspective, opinion, anything that you can add to the conversation. And then they'll start getting to know you, even if they don't know you. If you are persistent and you constantly, comment, it's like you actually build some kind of relationship with those people. And then you can reach out to them directly. You can email them, or you can ask them to connect with you. You can invite them to a conversation. They're much more likely to respond if you already built some kind of relationship with them.
That's really cool. So yeah, I 100% agree with the whole, build a relationship, because so many people on LinkedIn, I'm sure everyone's seen it if you're on there, is that they'll just message you right away and it's kind of spammy, right? I never really click on those. I absolutely hate those messages. But if someone is liking and commenting on my post, and then they're actually, when they do message me, not messaging me with an offer, like actually trying to get to know me, I'm more likely, 100 times more likely to buy whatever they're selling. And I actually just had that situation where the person ended up introducing herself and talking about her dogs. And one was named Coquito, which is a very Hispanic drink, alcohol drink. And I was just cracking up because she saw my last name. So she was trying to relate to me because my last name is Guzman, which is very Hispanic. So I thought that was hilarious, and we got on a call and we ended up doing business together. So just something even just so, and like just sharing a piece of yourself that you think someone might relate to, I think is super powerful.
Absolutely. And eventually in business and in life, it's about people connecting with people. And I agree with you so much. There's nothing I hate more than people sending me a connection request. Typically I confirm, and immediately after that, they send me an offer. Oh, we do this and these services. I'm ignoring that. I'm saying, no, thanks. I'm not interested. If that's the only reason you want to connect with me, I'm not interested. It's about building a relationship. And I never just reach out to people and say, hey, do you want me to coach you? Because they don't know me. Why would they want me to coach them? They have to follow me first. That's why I think it's so important to become a creator on LinkedIn and post different kind of content, right? It can be articles, it can be videos, it can be a podcast, right? It can be anything basically. So people will know you, will know who you are and what you do. So they will feel more likely to want to interact with you and purchase something from you.
Yeah. And I 100% agree with that. And I think that, the more that we're genuinely connecting with people, the more it's going to come back to us, right? I actually did an experiment with 1 month. I didn't really connect with anyone in my business. I just focused on my processes, my systems, all that. And we barely got any leads. The next month, all I did was try to connect with people. My calendar was filled with networking meetings, just asking people, hey, does anyone want to connect? Is anyone lonely? Maybe especially entrepreneurs, we're probably some of the loneliest people out there sometimes. And so we get so wrapped up in our business. So I offered, some free calls and just to talk and hang out. And we ended up having our biggest month in sales yet, just from having all of these calls. And none of it was ever spammy. It wasn't a discovery call. Most of these calls led to a discovery call. But I really just kept it on, learning about who that person is. Because how are you going to help someone if you don't know what their business is? Like, I think that's the biggest thing with the LinkedIn messages, is that they don't know me. They don't really know what my business is. Like, I have a marketing agency. Most people think I'm dealing with leads. Actually, I'm dealing with websites, courses, and summits. I have a whole nother type of marketing agency, which is more like a development company. But people just assume, and you really can't assume if you want to help people. You need to really learn who they are and what they do and what their goal is and what do they really need.
Yeah, people look for the quick wins, and it doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
Yeah, and if you hire, I know I've been looking into hiring help with my leads and such, just because so I don't have to do the sales process, because my team right now has all been on the development side. I haven't really done the leads and sales. I've always done that myself because it just comes really naturally to me. I'm starting to hire out. And so the first thing I did was a lot of these LinkedIn experts, and I was interviewing them. And one, they didn't know, the first one that I actually had a call with, it was very interesting. And they said to me, I see the disconnect. You're not charging enough for your services. I said, I don't have a disconnect. My business is actually doing very well. And I was like, And because we offer it at a lower price, I'm able to get more people a month, which actually brings me a bigger profit. But they assumed and they didn't ask me questions. That was the very first thing they said to me. And all of a sudden I was like, nope, closed off. And because it was just, I don't know, it just was not a right fit for me. But they basically, what their offer was automated leads with LinkedIn. So they would be sending those spammy messages. They would set it up that they would connect with so many people a month for you. They would send that spammy message and then they're like, you're magically going to get all these leads. And I'm like, but then
it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it doesn't. And then the value of your company decreases. So that's another thing. And it's just like, you really got to be careful about the type of, especially in your lead process, because your leads this is like the first time you're meeting someone, right? You want to have a good impression. You don't want to turn them away. And then it's really important to have a strong foundation in the beginning, because then you can build that relationship. So you eventually get referrals from that person, which is where the gold mine is. So yeah, I really loved all of your advice. I really thank you for, teaching us these skills on LinkedIn. Now it's our turn to go and put them in use. Don't just let what you learn sit there. Make sure you're actually taking actionable steps and doing the things. So we talked about the profile. So utilizing the image, your profile picture, making sure your headline and your descriptions and everything have keywords, right? And that they're catching attention and they're not just, your titles. And I would definitely utilize that feature section and then post good content and interact. So thank you so much, Limore. That was really great advice. Where can we find you and learn more about who you are and your services?
On LinkedIn, obviously. Yeah, Limore Bergman on LinkedIn. So typically, when people ask me that question, I go to LinkedIn and find me. Although I do have a website, but it's like, if you want to know me, go to LinkedIn and know a little bit about myself. Yeah.
That's amazing. I'll make sure I put the link to your LinkedIn in the show notes. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me, Natalie.
Have a great day, guys.